Hello chaps, thanks for all the replies on my previous video. I'm thanking you now just in case I didn't get around to answering some of them, although I could be answering them now rather than thanking you. Anyway, this week I am starting off a course of sea moss. When I say sea moss, I've had about 20 of them given to me in a tub by Senior Mustard. Because he reckons that they will help a great deal with joint pain. That's what he's been taking. He's nearly 80 and he still walks his dog up the hills, so that's a fairly good start. He's not nearly 80. You could say he's pushing 80 at 78. Anyway, so he gave them to me the other day and I forgot to take them. Home. So I've only really started on the idea of taking them twice a day today, although I did have one yesterday. Now, sea moss, why is it good? Let's find out. It's not the kind of thing that you can get from the doctors, so it's internet or Holland and Barrett. And apparently, you shouldn't take it if you're pregnant, which obviously doesn't apply to men. Or if you have a shellfish allergy, which I don't think I do. Or if you're into heavy metal. No, have a heavy metal. What's the heavy metal thing? How can people be heavy metal? Avoid sea moss if you have a heavy metal load. I'm going to have to find out what that means first, aren't I? Right, okay. Heavy metal load can refer to the amount of heavy metals in the body. I thought it might be something like that. Oh. Lead, mercury, cadmium, arsenic, chromium, and thallium. Oh. Symptoms: abdominal pain, chills, dehydration, diarrhea, feeling weak, nausea or vomiting, scratchy feeling in the throat. Maybe we all suffer from heavy metal a little bit. Anyway, doing my research, do your own research, etc. It seems like it can't really do you any harm. So it's worthwhile sticking with. The only trouble with it is, it's not going to be like a week test, like going all week only eating meat and eggs, because it takes about 6 weeks for it to make any difference. So I could have another 6 weeks of chronic knee pain to deal with. Over 6 weeks from now, it might be starting to get a bit warmer and less, precipitation. And those things would also help joints. So it's going to be a rather difficult one to say for one way or another whether it actually does much good or not. I can't really say as if I've been much of a believer when it comes to, alternative remedies, home remedies, homeopathy, Reiki. What other things are there? There's quite a lot of other things like that I need to decipher. Is it... the proof is in the eating of the pudding, of course. Is it mumbo jumbo, or is it actually something quite useful? But because there have been no clinical trials, I don't know why not, really, especially if it's not even going to harm anyone, then I need to do my own research, yeah? Again, that's the second time I've said that. Do your own research. A term associated with being fooled. But let's have a look anyway. Is sea moss mumbo jumbo? No, spell that wrong. Is sea moss nonsense? Well, I forgot to put a question mark on the end of there. Sea moss may have some benefits, but there is little scientific evidence to support many of the claims about it. Sea moss contains iodine, which is important for the thyroid health. However, taking too much sea moss over time can cause the thyroid to become hyperactive. Consuming large amounts of sea moss can cause digestive discomfort, such as bloating, gas, or diarrhea. And there we have one slight issue. There's another question, right? Let's get back on the internet. One thing always leads to another. You can't just look at one thing. Anytime you start researching something, you go down multiple rabbit holes. What are you shouting at? There's a man shouting at himself there. At least he's not shouting at me. On the back of prescription drugs, the packet, you'll always be advised of all the potential side effects. And that's no different to what you find out by reading up on sea moss and how it could possibly affect you. And as well, of course, I've just come across a couple of articles saying, oh, you should never touch it, it's really bad for you. And it's really bad for you because possibly in the same way that taking a whole packet of paracetamol might be bad for you, overdoing it. We're all capable of reading the advice and ignoring it as well. So there will be people that will do that. They'll have exactly the problem that means that you shouldn't take something like sea moss or for that matter, any other kind of medication, but still do it anyway, and then wonder why they get problems. That's the brilliant thing about the internet. One thing just leads to another, just leads to another. And I was just thinking, gosh, I'm really thirsty today. If you're thirsty all the time, what does that mean? Well, I know what it means. It means that you're dehydrated. But why are you dehydrated? Well, it could be all manner of reasons. I know one of them is it's a sign of diabetes, but also it's a sign of, and I didn't know this, depression. Yeah, isn't that weird? That being thirsty an awful lot can be a sign of being depressed and on the verge of schizophrenia. Oh, that's not what's going on now. Anyway, back to the point. When you look at potential side effects for any drug, they list practically anything that could go wrong. It's almost like, we can't really be bothered finding out what could go wrong, so let's just put everything in there that could go wrong, and then we've covered our backs. And I know that's not really true. But
scratch ending, scratch ending.